Hello everyone, this is Marissa Ortega and Kira Henderson, and today we will be going over how to fill out this year's 2019 Housing Inventory Count worksheet. The Housing Inventory Count, or HIC, is designed to be an accurate reflection of each continuum of care's capacity to house homeless and formerly homeless persons. Before I get started, I want to quickly go over the format of this worksheet, as I know it is much different than last year's HIC worksheet that was filled out via Google Forms. We recommend that when you're filling out this worksheet that you have the instructional guide pulled up at the exact same time. The guide has the same titles as the 6 sections on the worksheet and is meant to help guide you through the worksheet chronologically. You'll notice that there are 3 tabs located on the bottom left-hand screen of the Excel document. The first one says Summary Sheet, the second one says HIC Worksheet, and the third one says 2018 HIC Use as a Reference. It is important that you know you will only be filling out information on the tab that says HIC Worksheet. The other 2 tabs will be locked from editing. You do not need to worry about the Summary tab, as that will be used primarily by THN to expedite the reporting process. However, the third tab, the 2018 Use as a Reference, is there to provide you with the capability to review your HIC information from the previous year. If you are wanting to use this tab, please search for your correct organization using the Control F function or simply by scrolling through the list. You can see here that your search is highlighted in a green box. Once again, this is designed to only be used as a reference. Please do not just copy this information. Now let's get back to the HIC Worksheet tab. Here I want to show you one additional feature that I have added in to help you. If you scroll to the right, you will see a key designed to clarify any important terms that you will encounter. For example, in the Answer section under Inventory Type, you will see 2 options, Current and Under Development. And if you do not know what those 2 options mean, you can scroll over here to the right, go to the key, and you can see that Inventory Type, Current, means all inventory that is in operation on the night of the COC's pit count, and Under Development means all inventory that is projected but not in operation during the pit count. We recommend that if you encounter an acronym or term that you do not know, please look for it in the key. If you do not find clarification there, please feel free to reach out to us. Okay, now let's get started with the General Project Information section. At the start of every section, you will see a sentence that reads, "Please record your responses in the pink cells and add any notes under details you would like THN to know." The first section is for you to document basic information about your project, including your project type, the organization and project name, as well as the location. We included an instructions section to inform you of anywhere that you will encounter a drop-down menu. The first drop-down menu you will encounter is under the project type. Here you will select one of the 4 types. Please use the notes section if you feel like THN needs clarification. The rest of this section will involve you typing the information directly into the pink answer cells. Please pay special attention to the instructions section in the address portion so that you can ensure you are providing accurate information. I am now going to demonstrate this by typing in information for THN. Now we are going to walk through the detailed project information section. The first thing you need to know about this section is that every answer option has a drop-down menu. You will not be typing anything here unless you want to provide notes to THN. This section asks you questions related to the housing type, inventory type, bed type, which is for emergency shelters only, target population, victim service provider, and if you participate in HMIS or not. Now let's go ahead and move on to the funding information section. This section is for you to report whether you receive funding from the McKinney-Vento Act, various federal funding, and or whether your funding comes from a private source or one that was not included above. This section is mostly drop-down menus other than the last question regarding whether or not your funding is private or other. Please select yes next to any of your funding streams. Then go ahead and answer the corresponding question if you answered yes to this first one. If you do not receive either the McKinney-Vento or federal funding, please select No and follow the instructions for how to proceed. So then I'm going to go ahead and skip this one because it says if you do not receive funding, please skip. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. For private funding or any funding that wasn't included above, please type the name of your funding provider and any details that you feel would be necessary for THN to know.
Hey everyone, it's Kira, and I'm going to go ahead and finish off this worksheet for you. So now we're going to go to the all year round beds / units for household information section. This is where you will report the number of beds and units you have available for the 3 household types. Please notice that the beds are highlighted in red and the units are highlighted in blue. And this is to help you easily identify where the corresponding information goes. We have provided the definitions for beds and units directly under the section title for your convenience. The 3 household types are households with children, households without children, and households made up of only children under the age of 18. You will also be asked about the number of beds you have designated specifically for veterans, youth, and the chronically homeless. You will only fill out the chronically homeless count if you are a permanent supportive housing project. You will notice that there are no drop-down menus in this section, so you will need to type directly into the pink boxes under each section. Please don't leave any blanks in this section. After you have input your project bed and unit information, please fill in all of the blank squares with a 0. For example, if we have 5 beds and 5 units designated for households without children, all 5 beds are in HMIS and 3 of them are specifically for veterans, this is how you will fill out the sheet. This is what your form is going to look like. You'll notice I put 5 under the overall beds, 5 under the number of beds in HMIS, 5 in the overall number of units, and 3 under veterans. Now that we have filled out for the beds and units that we do have, I will now go through the rest of this section and put zeros where there are blanks. This is what a complete form should look like. You'll notice that there are zeros in all of the categories that we did not have information for specifically for our project. After completing that section, you will come to the temporary bed type portion. We first want you to notice that this portion is only for emergency shelter projects. If you are not an emergency shelter project, please leave all of the pink boxes blank and move to the final section. For now, I'm going to walk you through the instructions as if you are an emergency shelter filling out the form. The temporary bed type portion is split into 2 subsections, seasonal beds and overflow beds. Please start this section by reading through the definitions of each to determine whether or not they apply. You will find the definitions under each of the subsection titles. You will need to indicate how many seasonal and/or overflow beds, if any, that you have available for the occupancy on the night of the count, which is again January 24th, 2019. For all seasonal beds, you will need to type the day that you open and close their availability. For example, if you put 10 HMIS participating seasonal beds during the winter months from December 1st to February 1st, you will fill out the section as follows. This is what your form should look like. Now, for the overflow bed section, you'll notice that overflow beds by definition will not have start or end dates because they are available only on an ad hoc or temporary basis during the year. If you are an emergency shelter and you do not have seasonal or overflow beds, please leave this section blank and move to the final portion. The last section on the form is titled Total Occupancy. This portion is only 1 question long and will require only 1 answer. This is where you will need to type the total number of people who are staying in your project on the night of the count. Please note this answer is asking for the cumulative number of individuals in your shelter, not the bed or unit inventory numbers you typed above. Once you have completed this form, please submit it to Kristen Zakur at Kristen, Kristin, @thn.org. We need them submitted as soon as possible. However, you have until February 1st at 5 p.m. to get them over to us. If you have any questions that were not answered through this video or on the instructional guide, please feel free to contact us. Thanks, everyone.